Libra, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early January 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Libra collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here, my guides. Talk to me about the good, lovely, beautiful Libras out there. See what's happening as we start a brand new year. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Libra in early January, please. What's happening? Get this first card popping nice and quick for you. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, we have the Fool card energy here, big Aries energy to start you off, which could be very good. And it does link in with the time of year we're in now as well. This could be very optimistic, but there could be warnings with the Fool card as well, right? Because it's like, let's go, 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 let's do this, but it could be prone to being a little too spontaneous. So we'll talk about that. There's a lot of detail in that card. Before we do though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card. So yes, this is an oracle deck, and we see this individual dressed like a jester here. And the reason I link this card directly with the Fool is because if you look much closer down on the bottom, there's 3 different renditions of the Fool card on this card. So I think of all the Fool archetypes here. Some of you might just be linked to an Aries, right? Which is your opposite sign, like how Aries and Libra, they strive for the same things, but do it in different ways. When Aries energy shows up, it's very much, let's go, let's get this going, okay? And I know I speak from experience. I have a few really big placements in Aries, but let's talk about what this could mean. For a lot of you, this could be a brand new journey or a brand new cycle starting. That's why it links in with the current year. And once again, this is very much go, 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 go. And I'm picking that up here in a very heavy way here. Like there's a lot of motivation here and there's a lot of powerful energy. And if this isn't just an Aries that you're linked to, Spirit could be asking you to slow something down or just be cautious, okay? Because remember, the Fool card, it could be a little too happy-go-lucky. Yes, it's feeling good, it's feeling nice, it's going on a brand new journey, but it's not looking at the dangers of it. So anything you do in this time, don't be too spontaneous, be a little cautious. Let's just put that over there. Let's get into tarot. And yes, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading, it's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright, then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. And while we get this deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading, my friends. One thing that I have been not a fan of with the Libra readings in the last couple of weeks is that there's been 2 consecutive weeks where there was a strong 10 of Swords showing up. Now, last week's reading was titled An Explosive Ending, Fire, Air. There's a lot of unpredictability. Of course, there was 10 of Swords energy in last week's reading. So if you've been going through tough things, been going through tough times, I empathize with you, and I hope maybe that reading wasn't for you, right? Because when I see the tough ones, I always give my messages true, but I like to be a little more optimistic, not doom and gloom. That's besides the point. Let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to, right? Maybe someone else you're linked to is going through a tough one. Let's get these 3 cards out. Thank you. Okay, we have the World card, so that links into what we saw last week. Different cycles. So intriguing that the Oracle card we had was the Fool, the beginning of a journey. Now we have the World card, which could be the close of a chapter. Makes sense, right? We're starting a new year, a lot of things opening and closing. There's a lot of shifting in the energy. Let's get a couple more. Oh man. And you know what makes it more funny is that I only read jumpers, right? I just do these shuffles and they pop out. We got the Fool card in position number 2, so we are seeing a full cycle. And I saw this same energy for you a couple of weeks ago, and it's showing up once again. So a double down of this Fool energy, all right? Let's get one more card out here. We have the first and last of the whole damn major arcana out here. And we have some improvement here on the back end with the 6 of Swords. So yeah, Libra, we got an intriguing one on our hands, my friends. That's for sure. So much action and movement in these cards. So be prepared for change in this time. That's one thing I could absolutely say looking at this spread. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, I already told you we have the last major arcana, we have the first one, so it's like ending, beginning. We have this cycle happening, right? We have this cyclical type of energy showing up right here in the front. These are very powerful energies that we're leading off with here. More Aries energy, so it's going to be, I can't wait to decode the whole thing for you. Like, I'm getting a little giddy at this energy for some reason. And then we have some air, we have some swords on the back end, which is an energy that you can vibe with, and this is generally improvement, but it's action. So there's action, action, action. Let's go through one by one and really start to build this story out. Position number one, we have the World card. Very powerful card. Very powerful major arcana. It is in-depth in its symbolism, and it can mean a lot of different things. First and foremost, yes, it can represent endings. It can represent the close of a chapter. I don't see this as like a permanent close, permanent ending, not like the Ten of Swords. Generally, this is just a close of one chapter into a new. So for a lot of you, especially with the Fool right next to it, and I'll speak about it more when we get to the Fool, but there's something about cycles, whether it's karmic cycles, whether it's cycles of life, cycles of behavior. There's things that are coming and going, and possibly even returning. The World card, aside from that, aside from the karmic link, which this card is one of the more powerful karmic cards, I think of this as one of the cards of world events. So you might be paying extra attention to world events, what's happening in the world today. Maybe there's someone you're linked to where they're like strapped to the news and current events, and it's like taking up a lot of what's on their mind. This could be a focus on the literal world that we live in today, the 3D. So we'll see what that's about. And of course, it could just be cycles. It's a card of completion. Now, moving to the back, to the center, pardon me, we have the Fool card, and I gave you a nice hearty explanation of what this card represents. If you're connected to an Aries, the second time this Aries is showing up here in the spread for you. And once again, it's the protagonist of the tarot deck. The Fool's journey as it goes through the whole entire major arcana, experiencing every card within the deck. This is a card of new journeys. So old cycles, new cycles. It's like we have this back and forth. And remember, we started with the Fool, then came the World, then came the Fool again. So we have this cycling of the energy. Once again, new journeys, new cycles, new adventures, very optimistic, but be cautious with this card. Watch out for spontaneity. Don't let this Fool walk off that cliff. Okay, don't be too spontaneous. This could be unexpected energy sometimes as well, or it's something or someone acting in a unpredictable type of way, but I'm not getting bad energy. Like I said, I'm picking up nice things here so far. Okay, so I want to see what this cycling of the energy is about, whether it is karmic, whether it's change based. It doesn't necessarily feel like super challenging like last week's energy did. Now moving to the back end, and we have plenty more time to talk about that. We have the Six of Swords. To me, this is a card of action. It could represent taking trips, could represent distance. This is one that I link to vehicles and transportation and stuff like that. But generally, the Six of Swords is coming out of a tough time into the cool, calm, collected waters. So things improving. So we could link this card to being victorious or having wins of different kinds. Now, a challenge with the Six of Swords is that it can represent somebody that doesn't pay attention to what they should be, like someone that's shirking responsibilities or somebody that's not doing what they're supposed to. Sometimes it can represent abandonment as well, but it's an action card, and I don't necessarily feel like this is a big problem we're picking up on the back end. We really need to clarify all this to get the full details. So we're going to put that Six of Swords down right there. I want to dive deeper on all this, Libra. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What's going on with the Libras? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that world. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Libra, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, World card, what's happening? What's this cycle about? Guides and Spirit team. Why is the World here? Okay, Devil. This is an attachment of some kind. Okay, whether this is a thought process or This is something that, like, just when you thought it's over, it's not. It's giving me that vibe. So for a portion of you, watch out for issues with a Capricorn. And this time we have the devil in the upright, which could generally be things that are really difficult to work through. So whether it's some sort of an attachment, especially with the Fool right next to it. And I was already getting that vibe with the Fool, like the energy of returning, which I saw for you a few weeks ago, could still be here. Now, for a portion of you, you might be headstrong in the mindset, like, listen, whatever devil energy is here, whatever it is, I'm clearing it out. Okay, like whether it's toxicity, whether it's habits, whether it's in relationships, whatever this devil energy represents, whatever's not vibing with your vibe, you might just be dead set on just removing it. Okay, but it's giving me that attachment vibe, Libra. I'm going to keep it real with you. You know, whenever I feel something, I have to tell you. So this is something that could be difficult to resolve. Now, the Fool could be a much better card, okay? But initially, that first message I got, like, just when you thought it was over, it's not. Like, it was giving me that vibe as well. So I like the thought process. If you are in that thought process of, like, all this devil energy, it's out. It's out, but it's easier said than done, right? So I would say in this time, absolutely, watch out for any sort of big problem, okay? Whether it is a thought process, a mental state, an addiction, an individual, anything that's problematic, it might really go kicking and screaming, right? This is a type of energy that doesn't go easily, okay? And there is an attachment. For a portion of you, it could be something that you don't want to let go of either, all right? So let's go in over to the Fool, right? I mean, it is what it is, right? Sometimes as individuals, we know things might be a little toxic, but it's like, yeah, well, I like it. It's like, let's go before I get myself in trouble here. Let's go in on that Fool card. Let's see why the Fool is here. Thank you. Okay. This feels very forgiving here. All right, we have the Five of Swords in reverse underneath the Fool card. Like, yeah, new year, new me type of energy. Okay, like if it's not, it's like one of those energies. I'm not going to fight to keep something in my life if it doesn't want to be here. It's giving me that type of energy. The Five of Swords in the upright is generally a very selfish type of energy. It could be conflict-based. It could be someone that's battling. So when I see it in reverse underneath the Fool, of course, we still have this energy of things returning, coming back around. But it's someone who's saying, like, listen, if I got to fight for it, like if I got to fight tooth and nail for what's right, or if I have to fight tooth and nail for something, bye. Like, it's giving me that type of energy here. So with the Five of Swords in reverse, it could be somebody, I'll see when we get to the Six of Swords, but it could possibly be someone like throwing up their hands or washing their hands, like, I give up, okay? And I don't mean that in like a super negative way, but if this is a person you're connected to, they could really be at their wit's end with something. So let's keep moving. For some of you, this could be very good as well here in the center. Aside from the returns and everything else I saw, the Fool with the Five of Swords in reverse is like, all right, I don't want any drama in my life. Like, I'm not going to entertain the conflict. I'm not going to entertain this. So I do see this individual since the beginning that, like, I'm not going to make my life harder type of energy. Let's go in on the Six of Swords, and we'll do a quick recap after that before we get into the Shadow card. Well, Libra, I don't feel like this is all your energy either. I just want to say. Okay. Yeah, we have Lady Justice in reverse underneath the Six of Swords, so a card that represents you. Okay, karmic type of energy with her in reverse, and with the World, like, there is just so much energy of people, behaviors, like so many things that could possibly return in this time. So mark my words on that, because it's shown up at least once in every single one of these. And I know we had this for you a few weeks ago, and it's showing up once again. And I've seen it in other zodiac signs too. Now, when we have Justice in reverse, this is your card. So in reverse, it could represent like you moving forward, but being uncomfortable with it. So for some Libras, you might feel like you're on shaky ground, right? Or you might feel like you're feeling very uncomfortable. Hopefully this isn't somebody trying to move past you in any sort of way. Okay, for a very small portion of you, that could be it, especially with what we had here in the middle. But when I see Lady Justice in reverse, it just feels uncomfortable on the back end. So for some of you, with all this Fool energy we have going on and all this clearing out type of energy we've been picking up as well, some of you might be moving into uncharted waters or into situations where you don't feel super confident, but you might have to regardless. Only take that if it hits. Lady Justice in reverse, I'm just getting that return as well. I'm still getting that because she's about the cycles of life. That's about, like, we've been seeing these cycles of repeat happening. So like there's repetition, there's repeating, there's returning, all sorts of stuff. So let's go through and do a quick recap here, Libra. Obviously only take what's yours, but before we get into the shadow card, if you kindly look in the box, watch out for issues with Capricorns in this time. I don't feel you bumping heads with Aries. Maybe another Libra is possible. But in the front end, we have the World with the Devil in the upright. Like I said, it's like, all right, just when you thought I was gone, here I am again type of energy. For a portion of you, you might just be really dead set on removing any sort of devil energy from your life, whether it's within you, whether it's other, whatever it might be. If it doesn't vibe, you don't want it around type of energy, okay? So some of you could just be in that mode, shutting things down. But there's an attachment here. Okay, and for some of you, I was picking up the energy of like, you might not want to, right? And I went into the whole spiel about that. But moving to the center, we have the Fool card with the Five of Swords in reverse. I did get the energy of someone possibly saying like, listen, if I got to fight so hard for it, I give up type of energy. For some of you, it could be moving into a brand new cycle where things aren't as hard. There's not a lot of conflict. It's much more balanced. So this could be a really good thing right here in the center. But once again, the cycles, I've been getting possible returnings or things never leaving, possible returnings here as well. And even on the back end, things coming back around. So we have Lady Justice clarifying the Six of Swords, trying to improve things. I was getting uneasy, stepping into uncharted territories. So you might be moving into situations where it's uncharted waters for you and you might be a little uncomfortable with it. But I'm not picking up terrible results. So please, Libra, take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's get you a shadow card here. What's happening in the shadows with the Libra? And I feel like I could pull more messages off that. I know I can. Let's see what's in the shadows. And as I always say, shadow card isn't always a challenge. We're just trying to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. And if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it down in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I love all my channel members, so no pressure. Let's get you one shadow card here. What's in the shadows for Libra? Okay, 3 cups. Okay, you might need to have a little bit of fun, or for some of you, this could be an individual you're connected to that's having a little too much fun. It could be one or the other. The 3 of Cups, it can represent pleasures of the flesh, and especially when we have the Devil in here as well. Yeah, we could be speaking about possible addictive tendencies showing up here in the shadows. But if we're looking at the positive of this card, and we're gonna, because I'm a glass half full type of individual, the 3 of Cups is happy, it's joyous, it's celebratory. So for some of you, if you are in some of the energies that we were already speaking about, the 3 of Cups in the shadows tells us that you are going to have a cause for celebration, that you will overcome something, and things are going to go better than you expect with the 3 of Cups, okay? Just beware of any sort of overconsumption when this card is here. So Libra, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The January subscriber surprise. For the January subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot of the Owls tarot deck. It's one of my favorite new decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what are one of your biggest goals for this year that we just entered into? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll announce the winners in my community tab at random. As always, my friends, much love. And I'll see you again soon.